good evening. Well, I thought I'd get this video out a little bit earlier this weekend due to the fact we've got ex-tropical cyclone Vaianu right there heading in over New Zealand the next couple of days. The North Island especially, and perhaps parts of the Upper South Island will be involved. This is the map for this afternoon. As you can see, high pressure out there to the east. It's casting a ridge over much of the country, so therefore it has been fairly settled, but you'll definitely be noticing that cloud increasing over the North Island today. Showers there in the northeast, eastern northern through to Coromandel as that easterly airflow increases ahead of the low right there. Then we've got a front down there to the southwest. Let's move forward to tomorrow, Sunday, where obviously you can see that very deep low is moving in. So strong winds around the centre of the low, most definitely coming in from the northerly quarter on this side, and then as the low drops, the winds will change direction and come in from the southwest. The heaviest rain will be likely about Northland, Great Barrier Island, Coromandel and Bay of Plenty as it tracks through, but other areas will certainly get a few spells of heavy rain when that moves through. It's moving through pretty quickly overall, I'll say that much. Top of the South Island, you could potentially get some heavy rain as it drops southwards, and there is a slim chance maybe Banks Peninsula could catch something. I'm seeing that in some models, but in other models like this one, the heaviest rain is staying just offshore. So let's go to midnight, and there goes the low there to the east. As you can see, all the winds are coming through from the southwest now. Rain for the eastern side of the North Island, but it will start to ease at this point, and see that heavy rain just offshore there, offshore I should say. And yeah, once again, there is some models suggesting that the Kaikoura area could get some heavy rain, and maybe even Banks Peninsula, but it just depends how that tracks through. Marlborough Sounds, you're in for a higher likelihood of some heavy rain. Okay, let's go to Monday afternoon. There goes the low. It's disappeared down there to the southeast. And if you want to go into like a lot more depth with this ex-tropical cyclone, please go to Weather Watch, the videos on YouTube from Phil Duncan. I used to work with Phil, and he's got a lot of insights and does like really long explanations into these things and why they happen and all the details about it. I tend to like thunderstorms more, to be honest. While tropical cyclones, yeah, I guess they're cool. Well, for some. Unless you're caught in a bloody flood or some very strong winds. Not fun for you, is it? But they don't tend to have much thunderstorms associated with them in New Zealand, really. I tend to find them as just a big, broad, messy scale sort of thing. A broad, scale storm. Anyway, okay, Monday afternoon, we're going to get some wet weather heading into western regions. Now, there could be a thunderstorm here for the western North Island as that front sort of slides on through. Some nice cold air coming up there from the Tasman Sea. As we go to Tuesday, that cold air is heading onto the west coast, and there's a front there leading the charge as it moves through. As that front moves northwards, perhaps something thundery for the west coast. Then later on Tuesday overnight into early Wednesday, it's the western North Island's turn. Maybe you could get something. Still dry there in the east mostly, but the southeastern corner of the South Island, well, lower South Island, Southland, the Catlins, showers there, could be the odd heavy fall, maybe some small hail, maybe a chance of thunder because there's some cold air down there. On to Wednesday, where that cold air is now offshore there to the east. Once again, eastern regions, you are mainly dry. The odd shower there in the west, some rain for the west coast, heavyish rain for Fiordland as a new front heads in. And yes, there could be a thunderstorm or two down there because there is some nice cold air support moving in with that too. We'll skip Thursday because nothing too interesting is happening on Thursday. But Friday, it certainly builds from the northwest as there's a huge big area of cold air there in the Tasman Sea. Western regions, you're in for some wet weather, drier, warmer in the east. The west coast, maybe something thundery. Bit of advection moving through. That means sort of cold air encroaching into warm air. Saturday, a lot of low pressure over New Zealand. Thundery conditions perhaps there for the western North Island. The west coast, you've still got some wet weather, but it will gradually ease during the day. It'll clear later in the day, certainly, as there's a bit of a switcheroo that goes on. Rain here in the south spreads up this eastern side, and it clears up there in the west. No thunderstorms for the South Island, maybe a little bit of snow high up in the ranges. And then the final map, Sunday, so you can see that rain, wet weather moving into the eastern side there, with southerly quarter winds drying up there in the west. North Island, still showers here in the west, potentially the odd isolated heavy fall and maybe some thunderstorms. So yeah, plenty of action weather coming up. We'll catch you again next weekend. Cheers.